Hello, I'm Corrinne Armour. I'm a leadership expert, and what I'm passionate about is helping leaders and teams get out of their own way. I call that fearless leadership. And one way we get in our own way and we get in other people's ways is when we create cultures that don't bring out the best in people, cultures that just drain energy from people. It might be the culture of the team, or it might be the culture of the whole organisation. You know how soul destroying it can be when there's low engagement, when no one's taking accountability, and when the leader's either unskilled or too scared to fix it. Well, what I do is I help leaders extend their leadership toolkit so that they've got the confidence and the skill to connect deeply, to lead fearlessly, and to achieve serious results. Think about it. Being a leader can sometimes feel like hard work. You know, as leaders, it seems that we constantly need to be giving answers, to be telling people what to do. And many of us, we're in these leadership positions because we've had technical expertise. So we've been rewarded by having the answers. Once we're in a leadership position, you know, we're not expected to have the answers ourselves. We're expected to bring the answers out from our people. So it's no longer our performance, our technical performance, that's so important. It's the performance of all the people in our team. And sometimes we feel like there is still that responsibility to know everything, and we get anxious if we don't have the answers. And communication is such an important skill as leaders, and yet many leaders struggle to connect with one-on-one with their people, and they struggle to run effective team meetings. You know, we end up with team meetings that are more like a monologue than they are a conversation amongst peers. And then there's a dreaded performance conversation. You know, that annual formal conversation, or maybe it's semi-annually in your organisation, where you need to sit down and you need to be really having a conversation that connects somebody with their potential. And I've known many leaders who've had sleepless nights in advance of performance conversations, not to mention the people on the other side of the table, the team members, equally dreading those moments. And that's the formal conversations. What about the informal conversations that the best leaders have progressively during the day? You know, how are you doing on those? And how would it be if you could empower your people to come up with the solutions themselves? You know, what if you didn't need to have all the answers? Now, would you like a way to be more prepared in meetings so that you felt that you were able to bring the answers out from the people in the room rather than to have those answers yourself? And how would it be to feel more confident in performance conversations? And then if we move from thinking about the leader to thinking about the organisation, you know, engagement can be patchy right through the organisation. If you think about the annual staff survey, and the engagement figures are still low despite all the good work that you might be doing. Why is that? Because the leaders aren't connecting with their teams. They're possibly giving really good, clear directions, but they're not providing inspiration. So that people they're feeling stuck and they're lacking in purpose. There might be problems simmering under the surface. The leaders don't have the confidence or the skills to get in and to surface them and to address them. And when they are addressing them, they're probably firefighting. You know, they're being reactive rather than proactively building team culture. And how about leadership being strength? And when you think about your leadership team, what's the depth of leadership under that? Developing leaders, or developing leadership is a key responsibility of leaders. But how well are your leaders actually doing that on the job? And when people are feeling undervalued, then often they don't stay. And then when we look at performance right across the organisation, how consistent is it? And are all of your teams hitting their KPIs? Are they achieving the things that they're meant to be achieving, and the things that they truly could be achieving if we had everybody in the team fully engaged? And what would be possible if your leaders were able to give up control if they were able to step back from controlling people and situations and instead to have the skills and the confidence that they need to have the conversations that need to be had and to build culture. Now, what if you had those skills? So you might be thinking, yep, I get it. I know those problems. I know them because I've seen them with someone else. Or you might even be saying, yep, I know those problems because I've got some of those problems myself. And what can I do about it? Very good question. A coaching approach starts to put in the building blocks for a fearless culture. A coaching approach skills and empowers your leaders to empower people right through the organisation. So today, how about we just start with one simple, and I say simple because it's simple in concept, not necessarily simple to apply, with one simple strategy for moving your own leadership towards a coaching approach. And that simple strategy is to ask more questions of your people. So stop telling them what to do and start asking them. Can it really be that simple? Yes, it can. When people come up with the solutions themselves, then they've got much more commitment to those solutions. When we ask questions that lead people to generate insight, then the emotional brain engages. When you tell someone what to do, their rational brain engages, and they may or may not do it. But when they come up with that solution themselves in that flash, that moment of insight, we've got the right brain, the rational brain and the emotional brain engaged, and they're much more likely to feel that emotional response and to follow through. So three simple, how many fingers is that? Three simple strategies. And the first one is just simply stop already. When someone comes and they ask you more formally, what should I do here? When someone stops you as you're walking down the hallway or going down in the lift and they want you to quickly give them the answer, it's very tempting to do that. And surely that's quicker to give them the answer than to guide them to their own answers. And yeah, in the first instance, it might be quicker, but we're talking a longer term investment here in empowering other people. So stop on the answers, stop on the solutions. And the second thing then, what do we do instead? Ask more questions. So I think about this as the ask-tell ratio. So I challenge you now, just go back over today, yesterday, sometime last week, when you were talking with one of your direct reports about something that they were wanting to resolve. How many questions did you ask? How many pieces of advice, how much telling did you do? So think about your ask-tell ratio. The more questions you ask, the less you tell, the more insight you're likely to generate. And two really simple questions to start out with when someone asks you, well, what should I do here? Just, what have you already tried? So engage them in their own solutions. What have you already tried? And then follow that up with, what were you thinking of trying next? And if they're out of ideas, get out of jail free card, one that I love. What do you think I'm going to advise you? So just try those. What have you tried so far? What were you thinking about trying next? And what do you think I'm going to advise you? So step 2, ask more questions. And the third strategy, and for some of you this will be quite easy, for others this will be supremely challenging, and that's just sit comfortably in the silence. So when you halted on the solutions and then you've asked a question, that gets people thinking. So just allow them to think. Hold your tongue, don't fill the space, and within that silence, it's not an uncomfortable silence, it's a thinking space. They'll come up with their own responses. So my challenge to you, should you choose to accept it, is over the next week, When your direct report or someone that you work with, when they come to you, they want an answer. They want you to solve a problem for them. Why don't you just try these 3 things? Firstly, just notice what you do. Notice how you respond. Notice when you give advice, and then just stop already. The second thing is to track your ask-tell ratio. How many questions are you asking? How much are you telling? And then move the dial towards more asking and less telling. And the final thing is pause. Just stop and breathe. Get comfortable with the silence and let them come up with their own answers in that space that you've created for them. 3 strategies that will start you towards more questions, more generation of insight, building empowerment, giving up control, and ultimately these are the building blocks for creating a fearless culture.